time for Aunt Myrna's recipes.
Looks good. That look good to you?
Nope.
Guys, today has not been my best day. I have not felt like the brightest star in our universe during our planet's rotation today, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know that was your next question, don't worry. I woke up this morning at about 5 o'clock for no other reason than my body decided, hey, you're gonna wake up at 5 o'clock today, which is a bit earlier than I normally like to wake up, and before you flood my comments with, I get up at 3:30 in the morning to clock into my 28-hour shift, I promise you I don't care. So you can save your finger strength. But the day was young and I wasn't able to go back to sleep, so I figured I would finally get around to mowing my lawn, which I've been putting off for quite some time at this point. Whipped out the old mower, cranked it, and nothing. So added some gas, nothing. Checked the oil was looking a little stinky, so I changed the oil, nothing. Changed out the fuel filter, you guessed it, nothing. So after going through my normal troubleshooting, I figured, hey, this lawnmower is about as old as I am, maybe it's just run its course. And off to buy a new lawnmower I went. Now there's some event going on in my city today which makes every single venture out of the house turn into a 30-45 minute ordeal. So going to the hardware store, which would normally take me like 25 minutes, took me an hour and a half. Not super cool. But I got a new lawnmower, got it to my house, opened the box, tried to put oil in it, and whoopsies! It said there was oil included in the box. Guess what was not included in the box? So back out to get oil I go. An hour later I'm back, I put some oil in, fill her up with gas, I crank it, we're ready to mow, and I'm not joking, something that I thought only happened to zany characters in early 2000s comedy movies happened to me. A bird pooped on my head. So, needless to say, today's not going the way I planned for it to. But hey, you know what we do when we have a bad day on the August the Duck channel. We watch our best friend Jack Scalfani whip up something delectable. And boy, I guess the cooking gods knew I needed this today because they led me to something I have never seen on Jack's channel before, and I don't know how. Another Aunt Myrna's recipe, strings and pegs. I don't know what that means, but I do know that I've been talking for over 2 minutes in this intro, so let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Do you know what time it is? It's time for Aunt Myrna's recipes.
Look at this sweet, innocent old lady. This lady is the mind behind things like Aunt Myrna's party cheese salad. And now strings and pegs? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but to me it seems like Aunt Myrna's into some freaky...
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another one of Aunt Myrna's recipes. She is amazing. If you sit with this woman, she'll talk food all day long with you. She has so many great recipes, so we're going to try and bring them to you in this series, Aunt Myrna's recipes, all right? Now, strings and pegs. You're like, what's strings and pegs? I know I said the same thing. She explained it to me, so I'm going to tell you. First of all, in the recipe, it calls for, where is it? There it is. French-style green beans.
Alright, right off the bat at least, personally, I'm not feeling this. I know I sound like a toddler, but I just cannot do green beans. They just don't taste good to me. Not to say it's necessarily bad that we're using green beans in this recipe, but I might be going forward a little bit biased because green beans, no thankies.
Okay, like string beans, they call them, okay? Now, pegs, this was a little difficult, but pegs, you ever hear of shoe peg corn, white shoe peg corn? It is in the grocery store. I had to look and look. It wasn't right at eye level. It was down to the very bottom. But it's a little bit sweeter and a little bit bigger than regular white corn. If you can't find shoe peg corn, use yellow or white corn and just replace it, okay?
But then, Jack, it won't be strings and pegs anymore. It'll be strings and yellow corn, and that is a much less ominous name, and I don't like it.
Now, this is a great recipe if you're having a party, a potluck. Everybody loves green bean casserole.
Yeah, Jack, you see, there's a problem there. This is not green bean casserole. Green bean casserole is a beloved American dish consisting of green beans, mushrooms, and onions. This is strings and pegs, which, as far as I'm concerned, should get you tossed into a federal prison for making.
Let's run down all the ingredients. You got your sharp cheddar cheese, got your green beans, shoe peg corn, butter, a can of cream of celery soup, that's right on your soup aisle, Ritz crackers, almonds that are slivered, and then part of the onion, so just grab an onion, diced pimentos, and I had to look for these. These were on the canned vegetable aisle. It was not by the olives, so don't look by the olives if you have a big supermarket. Go on the canned vegetable aisle and look on top. This is on top. and sour cream.
So I was gonna look this up to see if this was like a normal recipe for strings and pegs, but I googled strings and pegs, and absolutely nothing food related comes up. So I think this might be another Aunt Myrna original, nothing passed down here. So I'm really starting to think that maybe Aunt Myrna just grew up during the Great Depression and never really outgrew those recipes. Because I'm looking at these ingredients, and I don't even know how you would begin to come up with this concoction. All of these ingredients put together is one thing, but just putting together one or two of these ingredients is unacceptable to begin with. Almonds with cream of celery, 10 years minimum maximum security prison.
Looks good. That look good to you?
You know what, Jack? No, it actually doesn't. This looks like something you would feed a wild bird. What? What'd you just say? You want to follow me on Twitch? I mean, okay, like if you insist. The link's in the description.
We're gonna do half a cup of onions, half a cup of sharp cheddar cheese, half a cup of pimentos. I'm using the whole container because it's 4 ounces. It's just what I need. Half a cup of sour cream and a can of cream of celery. See, it's all in there. You're gonna mix it all up. Gonna pour this on top here. Look how beautiful that is.
Jack, I can only talk to you about the use of the word beautiful so many times before I begin to think that my words are not being heard. Like right off the bat, I think a good lesson, Jack, is that we should stop calling uncooked food beautiful. Normally we save the beautiful comments for after it's been cooked. It's got a nice finish on it. This is not that. This is a pan of beans covered in sour cream peppers. Not exactly what I would call gorgeous.
If you just feel real violent, you can just crush it up yourself. Make sure it's sealed, okay? But you're gonna want these finely, you're gonna want this all crushed up. Bring this back here. We're just gonna sprinkle this all on top.
I think I said this the last time I covered an Aunt Myrna recipe, but Aunt Myrna definitely had to be under the influence of something to come up with this stuff. I mean, how do you see this concoction we've got going so far and think, you know what this needs? An entire tube of crushed up Ritz crackers. That's really gonna bring it all together, baby.
I have a couple packages of almond slivers. So you're gonna shake these all over. It's a work of art already, I haven't even cooked it.
Jack, once again, I'm going to refer to my wild bird comment. No, this does not look that good. This does not even look like something a human would eat. This looks like what you would see a zookeeper carrying into the enclosure of a large flightless bird. Like one with exceptionally long legs. It's definitely got a funny name. Yeah, this is what it eats.
Okay, this just came out. Look how beautiful that is. Can you see that? That's all beautiful. All browned almonds with some crispy Ritz and some melting cheese and sour cream bubbling out and pimento and onions, and oh my gosh. Let it cool for a little bit. Knife, just slide it right off. Wow. Get you a better view there. See the layers? Whoops. There you go. See the layers in there?
Yeah, Jack, you know what? Unfortunately, I do. I can't imagine the textural nightmare it would be to eat this dish, much less the taste. If you don't mind, Jack, I would like to not think about the layers.
Change this any way you want. And you vegetarians, here's a dish for you. You're always asking for a good dish.
Not only am I insulted on behalf of all vegetarians, I'm also going to give a bit of a recommendation for anybody who does decide to change up this recipe and do it themselves. Maybe some seasoning of any kind. Salt, pepper, any of those good old-fashioned staples, because this entire dish is nothing but prepackaged products, not even a pinch of salt.
Right? There's no meat in this, right? Yep. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's try it right now. Oh, everything goes good together. The pimento, the sour cream, it's just amazing. Tastes great. In fact, if I was at a potluck, I wouldn't even finish this. I would just carry this up to the line and wait for seconds and start eating it right there in line.
Jack, I see that the dish is affecting your brain already because that made no sense whatsoever. I'm not even gonna sit here and try to believe that he's being honest because it's just impossible. No way this dish is good and I stand by it. I'll even try it if I need to. Well guys, out of the 2 Aunt Myrna recipes we've covered, which one would you rather try? I'm gonna say something that I think might be a bit controversial, but I think I'd have to go with the party cheese salad. At least that one's so wacky that no one would take it seriously. This seems like it's it's actually trying to be a recipe, which kind of makes this sadder. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
Subscribe.